Welcome back, y'all, to my channel. Slavic here. Today we're gonna do another maintenance video. Every time I do something on my pit bike, I'm trying to record everything for you guys so you guys can learn and do these things yourself. But as the title says, today we are going to be swapping out wheel bearings, and I'll show you the process that it takes to do that. Pretty simple, but yeah, let's get started into this. This is what we're gonna be using. Grease for it's recommended for wheel bearings and things like that. This should be some pretty good stuff. I'm gonna change all the wheel bearings, and this is part that we're gonna be using. I don't know if the part number's on here, but it's just, yeah, right there. It's a 6202 wheel bearing for the Pitster Pros, and a lot of the pit bikes run about the same wheel bearing. So if you need it, if you're a local, Brown Bear has these locally for like $8 a pop. Loosen up your axle nuts and pull the axle out, take the wheel out. I know I'm not using the best tools, y'all, but I'm working on another project at my parents' house and all my tools are there. So I'm just trying to work with whatever I got here. So be patient with me. I have taken this apart before and I used engine grease, just because that's all I had at the time. But now we're gonna do it the right way with some good stuff. And there's gonna be 2 of these on each side of the wheel. One right there, shorter one goes on this side, longer one goes to where the brake caliper is to clear the brake caliper and the disc. I'm gonna repeat the process on this side. By the way, it's a 19 millimeter nut on both front and back. And then the other side is usually a 17. Get this guy off. Easy, huh?
A few moments later.
This time, long side is on the sprocket side, short one is on the caliper side. I'm gonna start off by removing this rubber seal. Try not to mess it up. I'm gonna flip it over and do the same on this side. There we go. So now we're gonna have to stick something through, hook up onto the bearing, and just kind of go around in circles and punch out the bearing. Oh snap! That's not good. Thought I was actually getting somewhere. I'm gonna take a broken one of these. Oh, look at that. Got it right out. Nice. This thing's gonna come out too. Now, after you've gotten the first one out, it's kind of what it looks like, if you can see at all. Then you can reach that next bearing much easier. Boom. Now what I'm gonna do, spray a bunch of like degreaser or breaking parts cleaner, stuff like that. Kind of clean this all out because I'm gonna re-grease everything. I got myself some electric cleaner at home. Just gonna use that. Just gonna clean this up a little bit how I can. Maybe get a brush in there, clean it out more. You don't have to go crazy on this because we're gonna re-grease it anyway. While we wait for the other wheel to dry up, I'm gonna get this guy off. Forgot to take this off, but came off, so whatever, I guess that's an option too. See how it's all like kind of rusty in spots? Yeah, this front wheel didn't spin that well. It's pretty like dirty in there. Gonna get it all cleaned up, get some Scotch-Brite going in there. Everything's gonna be smooth. You don't want this electric cleaner stuff or any kind of braking parts cleaner to sit on these seals because you can eat them up. So I just sprayed a little and wiped it off right away. Well, you can see in there, much better, smoother. Went over with some Scotch-Brite on the inside and did the little wire brush where I couldn't reach down there. Clean it all up. Now I'm gonna get some grease in there. Let's see what we got here. Bearings look like. So after some research, I'm not quite sure why the old bearings, all of them were open on the inside, but that's not how it's supposed to be. I mean, it makes sense. You don't want water and dirt and crap getting into there, and eventually some dirt and stuff like that, water will get in there, and if the seals are closed like this, then they're gonna stay nice and spin freely and everything and clean on the inside. But if they're open and they get water and stuff and everything in there, then they're just gonna start to go bad faster. I'm gonna get like a bunch of grease on these. And before I actually put that in, I'm gonna grease up the inside as well. Now I'm gonna do the same thing for this side, grease it up, and then I'm gonna put you guys in a time lapse. All greased up, bunch of grease in there. Want to make sure it's all good to go. Now I'm going to show you how I'm going to put in the first bearing, and then I'm going to put you guys in a time lapse on the rest of them. So set it as straight as possible. Then it's better to have a socket that's as big as the outside of that. So I'm gonna try to, since I don't, I'm just gonna kind of tap around in the circular motion so it goes down, because I don't want to hit it right in the middle because it can damage the bearing. like I said, I don't have my tools, but I have this bar from a jack that is pretty good fit. After we get that guy in there, just put that seat right back where it belongs. And boom. One wheel bearing down. Grease this guy up a little too. And by a little, I mean a lot. Plenty of grease on there. It's a wheel, so more grease is not gonna hurt anything. Get that guy in there. Now we're ready for the second wheel bearing. Let's get you guys in the time lapse for that. While I'm at it, I'm gonna clean up this axle, clean up these bearings, these they're called spacers, I don't know what they're called, but clean them up, Scotch-Brite them and make them smooth, and then I'm gonna grease them all up as well. Oh, look at that, much better. Now I'm gonna get them greased up. Alright, now that we got everything cleaned up, let's start off by putting the wheel in. Back wheel is the harder one to get in there. So I'm gonna start with that one. Before the axle comes out, put this one in there. Put on these take off all this excess grease. Alright y'all, that's the final product. We got the wheel bearings put on, everything torqued. Actually I didn't torque anything. I don't torque anything on this bike, but I just tighten it up. But wheel spins much more freely. It's a little bent, but it's whatever. But I just went for a little test ride, and it drives way better, way smoother. Everything's solid, and it's all ready to go. Everything's greased up. And yeah, so if this helped you guys at all, leave a comment down below. If you have questions, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, help us get into that YouTube algorithm. I hope this video helped you guys. I'll see you in the next one.